I'm back. It's been a very long and busy weekend, but I'm here finally, and I'm glad to be back. Hopefully, I get to see you guys chiming in. And I actually had to wait. I don't know if you can see this. I slept on the pillow, so I have a crease on my eye. So I was like, oh, I can't let people see me like this. So it's still a little bit of a crease. It's subsiding. It's slowly subsiding. Let me put my coffee down before I spill it. Okay, Father in Heaven, Spirit Guide, show me clearly. What do you want to tell the collective for today? What's today's date? I don't even know. What is today's date? May the 10th or the 9th or something like that. I don't know. But it's Monday. Spirit knows what day it is. I don't. The Spirit does. Okay, let's see. Father in Heaven, Spirit Guide, show me clearly. What do you want to tell the collective for today, for Monday? Thinking of the past, broken union. Good morning, the 10th. Thank you, Queen to be. You should be Queen I am. Okay. Let's see. And for you newcomers, please like, share, and subscribe. Okay, because it helps the messages to circulate through YouTube. Helps the channel to grow. If you want a private reading, please email me. All right, so let's see. Done with the pain. Yes, you are. Done with the pain. Done with the, okay. Done with the pain. Done with the pain of the knowledge in the past. All right, coming back to something that's going to emotionally fulfill you. There's been a transition, okay? Even though this has been like a heavy burden and this is too much to deal with, there's definitely been some kind of transition. Interesting. No longer dealing with a manipulative individual, no longer dealing with somebody who's in and out of your life. All right, ready to move on to bigger and better things, maybe a new house. All right, you're eager to move on and move forward. You're no longer going to communicate with this situation from the past, somebody who maybe was never just, somebody who's cold, standoffish. Maybe you are being cold and standoffish to this individual. You'd see that you got everything that you need all by your damn self, which is a beautiful thing, okay? You know you didn't grow with this person. I think the burden, the thing that stressed you out more than anything was the burden of this situation not evolving to the next phase. The burden of not being able to grow any more than you wanted to. And I feel like you are coming to this self-reliant stage where you're really starting to just be like, you know what? Yeah, I don't really need anybody else in my life to make me happy. You know, I don't really need this situation to make me happy. Healing. Going back to emotional fulfillment. Just hold on a second. I just want to lay it all out before I start blurring it out. Okay. Okay, you're healed. You're coming back. You're going back. You're thinking about this past situation, this past person, or whatever this was that you were dealing with. You're like wondering why you were so confused. You're wondering why were you so confused when you never really got what you wanted from this situation. It's almost, I feel like, yeah, I think you're just really hashing this out, right? You're hashing this out. You're like, why was I so confused? Why was this so complicated for me in your head? Okay. You are making a choice. You just like, I just want things, you just want something or someone to be fair with you. You want a situation that's going to be even, equal boundaries, equal boundaries. I don't know why Spirit's making me say equal boundaries. Okay. Check, check, check. Okay. No one person or thing will make you happy. Starts with them. Exactly. Tired of thinking about why and not doing it. Well, yeah. See, that's a very, very good place to be in. Okay. Spirit, what else do you want to say? You really didn't have a very strong foundation, and this is why things didn't go in the direction that you wanted it to. So I feel like they're talking about your own personal foundation. And I think they're also talking about this past relationship. It wasn't strong, but Spirit is saying, how can you have a firm foundation if you weren't firm on who you were as well. Does that make sense? Right? Sometimes we think we have it all together, and then we realize Spirit goes, and we're like, oh, wait, no, I don't. I don't have it together yet. Thought I did, but I didn't. Okay. What else, Spirit? The illusions of why. The falsity of why. Interesting. Why? Explain that. Because now I'm like, this could go into like a few different directions. Where you the falsity of why. You didn't know. It's like almost like you didn't know if you went on, if you moved beyond this. Maybe you didn't have, you were putting on the facade that you had your shit together, but maybe you didn't. You didn't really know if you were going to be blessed. You didn't know if you should be confident about moving on because you didn't really know your why yet. Does that make sense? Okay. So it's like you had this illusion like you had your shit together, but you didn't. Fake it till you make it, which isn't always a bad thing. It's a good thing because, who really knows where you're going until you start walking in the direction. And sometimes you do need to fake it till you make it, right? Because as we go on in life, that's when the answers come out, right? It's not by standing still that you get answers. So you weren't sure if maybe you were putting on a fake face that you had it all together, but you weren't really truly confident as to where you were going, to what direction you were going in. Will this lead me to my path? But you weren't on the right, you didn't have a sturdy foundation in the past. So you not having a firm foundation of who you are isn't going to lead you down the right path, right? Because you need to be yourself, needs to be firm in your belief system and what you are and what you're deserving and what you allow in and out of your life, right? A lot of cards. Okay. Kind of interesting that Spirit is saying, it's almost like you didn't want to know the truth. You didn't want to know the truth, and you just didn't want to deal with it. You didn't want to deal with it. You thought whatever this past situation was enough to go on with. Was like enough fuel, let's say, to ignite the engine to go further, if that makes any sense. I don't know why. That's what's the vision that Spirit is giving me right now. Like, there was enough gasoline in this engine to make the rest of the ride. Does that make sense? Okay, that's what they're showing me. So it's like you didn't want to see. You didn't want to see that this wasn't right. Okay, you didn't want to see this wasn't right for you. Maybe you didn't want to see that. You didn't want to have to deal with it. Does that make sense? Like, you didn't want to have to deal with the work that was going to come into you maybe walking away from a situation. Because for you to walk away from a situation, it takes work. It's mental, it's physical, it's draining, everything. You have to put the truth out there. You're like, you didn't want to put the truth out there. The truth card is in reverse, right? You're like, I don't want to. It's like you didn't want to deal with it. You're like, I don't know, maybe if I just let it go and go with the flow, right? Be the hanged man. I don't want to deal with it. Maybe there's enough fuel in this engine to make it through. But I don't think that's the case, right? So what's the advice here, Spirit? What is the advice that you want to give to them? It's time to make a decision. Okay? It's time to make that choice. I feel like you're at the fork in the road and you really don't know which way to turn at the moment. You're still very confused. Okay? it will be exposed. Actually, I don't think that's what Spirit's saying. I feel like Spirit's saying it's time to put it all out there. It's time to put it all out there. What you need to, what you want, what you need, what you're not accepting, what you are accepting. It's time to just put it out there. All right, that you are having a hard time healing. Maybe you're having a hard time opening your heart to somebody again. Because you feel like this isn't your path. So maybe it's time to put it all out there. Like, this is who I am. I don't think that we can fix this situation. If this is a situation you've been wanting to fix or you've been thinking about it, that's what I've been doing. Well, good. I'm glad. Okay. So it's almost like you need to put it out there. Don't hide it. Put it out there saying, listen, I don't know if we can fix this. I don't know if I can open my heart back up to you again. I don't know if I can be vulnerable with you again. How many times do you need to go through this? Ooh. All right, the man holding the coin and the storm warning together. They literally fell up right together, and I have two facing down. Okay? All right, so it's like the masculine you felt that was of worth, of value. All right, as you guys know, energies could be flipped. The female could be the masculine because they're just that much more dominant, right? In personality. Or it could just be the man, whatever it is, But it's like the shit that hit the fan with the person you felt was of worth. That was worth it. All right, now let's see what's underneath the other two cards that I don't see because they're flipped down. See? The angel of love and the door to spirit is closing. So it's like, I think like you have all this love to give, but I feel the doors are closing. It's almost like you can't open your heart back up. You're having a very hard time opening your heart back up to this person. You are guarding yourself, which I feel like you kind of need to. Because I think this person brings conflict in your life, brings chaos, brings pain, maybe toxicities, okay? There's really no firm foundation with this person or situation that you're dealing with, okay? And it's sad that I feel like you are lonely within your own heart. Because you want to give it there, like you want to give it, but I feel like you don't want to put your heart on the line anymore with this person or with the situation. So it's sad because you're kind of alone, right? In your heart. See, in the contract, in a union, in a partnership. It's time to put a new plan in place because there are so many opportunities out there for you guys. Okay? I think Spirit wants me to say, like, don't feel like if you close your heart off to this past situation that you're not going to have love ever in your life again. You will. But sometimes you have to walk away from one situation to have another situation open up for you. But you need to not hide in the dark. Put yourself out there and maybe say, like, I'm sorry, but I am a little bit guarded. I'm a little bit guarded because I don't know if it's worth me breaking my heart again, right? And I feel like Spirit is saying, like, have you been listening to your intuition on this, really? Have you really been going within and listening to your gut feeling on this? Okay, what else, Spirit? Fuck, sorry, they fell behind the camera, and now I have to get up and move, and I have my pajama pants on too. So you get to see my polka dot pants. Okay. What are they? Break the attachment that is making you weak and end the self-sabotage. End the self-deceit. Break the attachment that's making you weak. It's hindering you. Okay? Maybe, I don't know why, maybe it's physically making you sick too. Because when, you're dealing with this kind of stress, it can, because I'm saying this because I actually all of a sudden am feeling nauseous, like I want to puke. Maybe it does make you nauseous. Maybe the situation is making you nauseous. Maybe the attachment you had is making you sick to your stomach. Okay? I feel like they're saying, yeah, break the attachment of the thing that's making you sick. Maybe you're disgusted with yourself, right? Because sometimes we do get disgusted with ourselves because we allow people so many opportunities to just prove themselves the same position that they have always been in, right? So we get tired and sick of our own shit because we accept their shit all the time. Because we constantly think that if we give them another chance, that things are going to get better, right? Okay, what else, Spirit? What else do you want to say? What else do you want to say? Okay, I'm smiling. I'm wondering what's going to come next. I've been nauseous a lot and thinking about how I let myself down. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I literally feel like I have the urge to vomit right now. Like I feel sick to my stomach, and I have the weakness card, the strength in reverse. And strength in reverse can mean illness, sickness. So I have the spiritual union card in reverse, okay? So I don't know if it's break the union or end the union. The broken union you sacrificed yourself for. It's time to grow. Okay? The broken union that you did a lot of sacrificing for. It's almost like end the union you sacrificed. You put a lot on the line for this. It's time for you to personally heal. It's time for you to personally grow. Maybe this thought is making you sick to your stomach too. Because it can be scary, right? That can be scary. It is scary, believe me, I've done it. You can overcome this obstacle, even though you're really having a hard time. It's like almost like this is a challenge you don't know if you can do. To grow, you need to go within. The solitude card came right on top of the fertility card. To grow, to evolve to the next phase, you need to go within. And think about this. All right, this isn't the contract card, but she's holding a book, a ledger, and I would take this as the contract, okay? Think about it. Maybe it's time to review the contract. Did it really grow to how you expected it to be? Why are you having such a hard time breaking a contract, breaking a union that you clearly sacrificed so much for? And they probably didn't put the sacrifice on you that you did for them. Why is this so hard to overcome? Okay? Did they put the energy into it that you did? What else? It's like you need to go within. You need to think about this. Think about it. Maybe you need just a little time out. Doesn't have to be long. Could be 5 minutes. Could be a day. See? They're saying stand your ground. This is not a firm foundation. And that's what it said before. $100 million? What? Are you getting $100 million from your ex? Man, please, let's go out. Let's go on vacation together. If you're getting that kind of money. You could probably take us all out on vacation. What's it called? Yeah, I don't, just stand your power, guys. This was not you were teetering. I feel like because this relationship was constantly like this. And as I'm doing that, my ears are like, right? like high-pitched shrill, like a light shrill going on both ears at the same time. It was never right. It was always like this, touch and go. Oh, the $100 million question. I was like, damn, girl, you're taking us on vacation. Just saying. We're all going to become friends real quick. Let's see. No. Stop wallowing, hey Maud, in your emotional loss. It's time to move on. Okay? Yeah, I know. I could totally use a beach right now with heat. Stop, like, I'm telling you, stop. If you're literally sitting there wallowing in self-pity right now with this emotional loss, they're saying stop. Move on. Move the fuck on. Because odds are this person doesn't care about you as much as you cared about them in this situation. Get over the defeat. Get over the conflict. Get over the defeat. Just move on. All right? You know what? See? Become aware. See that line? Become aware and see the truth and see the happiness that's going to come in when you have a new beginning with somebody new. So maybe it's like you're afraid that you're not going to meet somebody new, but Spirit's saying like, yeah, there's many people out there for you. You need to know this. You need to become aware of this. Or if this isn't the person, it's like if it's a job situation, there's many opportunities out there for you. All right? And things will start again. But you need to get out of this other mode that you've been in. All right? You need to move on. All right, and it's almost like you need to see the light of moving on. Maybe you need to make a pros and cons list and see the pros of moving forward from this past situation. Okay. All the men you meet are relationships. Well, they're the wrong men because you don't want somebody who's in a relationship. As anybody on this channel can tell you right now who's watching, right? Just puts you into more devil energy. As soon as you find out they're married, well, thank you. It was so nice meeting you. Or you're dating somebody. It was so nice meeting you. If you guys ever break up, you can contact me. But I'm not doing this. Standing your ground. Self-respect. Right? Put yourself out there. You don't need to deal with that bullshit. Yep. Nope. Don't get into that. Like, oh, it's very nice meeting you. Well, you enjoy your relationship with whomever you're with. Because if you want out, you'll get out. But you don't need to teach anybody else. All right? You need to meet somebody who's at your caliber. And meeting other people that you need to teach to be at your caliber is not gonna... Nobody's ever gonna be... Maybe nobody will ever be at your level. But you want somebody who's close, right? Not somebody who's like back there, back in the third party situation. No. Oop. See, there's no self-love in that situation. If you entertain that, you're not loving yourself. You're just putting your value back down again. Spirit wants me to say, to not just you, Maud. I know you're not doing that. But I'm saying, like, in general, whoever's watching this, whoever keeps going back into those third-party situations, do you really love yourself? You don't. You need to hunger for discernment. Hunger for the truth. Hunger for the power that you can create in your own world. Okay? Don't give up. You need to resolve to growing and protecting yourself. Okay? That's interesting. Don't give up. Okay? It's almost like the answer, it's like Spirit saying the answer is to grow. The key to all of this is your own personal growth. Okay? And protecting you. And by you loving yourself is growing. But you not allowing yourself to get into another third party situation is growing. It's also protecting yourself, because now you are not going to allow yourself to get hurt. You still might get hurt, right? But at least it won't be in devil energy hurt, and it'll be on somebody else. But you knowingly getting yourself back into a third party situation, hey Allison, is like, knowingly getting yourself into another third party situation. Why do you want to waste your time on that? And now you're just going backwards. All this Empress and High Priestess and DF evolvement is going backwards. So don't give up, right? It's time to be hungry for your own knowledge, for your own path. All right? The key, the answer to everything is your own personal growth. And I feel like Spirit's saying too, it's like you need to protect yourself, but it's like Spirit wants me to say, like, we got your back. We've got your back. Stop wasting your time on the shit from the past. Hi, how are you? Oh, thanks for calling me beautiful, because if you were calling me beautiful, I don't feel beautiful today. I have mascara. I did not wash my face yet. I need to. And I was sitting out in the rain, and I did my hair straight, and it's all like frizzy. That's my frizzy sound, I guess. What else, please? It's like saying, like, you don't, oh, thank you. It's like you don't have, if you don't love yourself, it's like your self-respect is lacking and everything, which we know this, right? If you don't love yourself, you're not respecting yourself. Okay. A lot of cards here. That's why I'm like kind of reading it, trying to put this together. You're not taking care of yourself if you allow yourself to be in the dark. And I kind of said this before. Get out of the dark. Say what you need to say. Put yourself out there, okay? By you being in this emptiness of without the masculine. Oh, thank you. Oh, I just use cheap shampoo, honestly. I don't even know what it's called. It's like cheap stuff. So you're not taking care of yourself by keeping yourself in the dark. All you're doing is keeping yourself in void, in your own personal void, in your own emptiness, because you weren't with the masculine. You need to expect self-reflection, okay? So it's almost like they're saying, expect to see the truth, but the truth is in you, not in them. You expected them to come back to you to reveal a truth. I did too, a long time ago. Of course, they never came in, right? So it's like you were expecting them to come in and speak some kind of truth, but no, the Spirit is saying it's not about the truth that they needed to come and tell you. It was about the truth that you needed to say to yourself. You needed to look in the mirror. This was your lesson of how much can I tolerate? How much shit can I tolerate? How much shit am I going to allow myself to accept before I crack? Where is my tipping point, right? So if you were expecting your masculine to come back, and they didn't, to tell you something, and you felt alone and dark and isolated, this was you not loving yourself. This was you not taking care of you, because you were expecting them to come in. You need to see this truth. Okay? You need to see the truth that it was you who needed to stand in your power. It was you who needed to say, I am no longer going to devalue myself. I'm no longer going to put my life on hold for a person who has put me on hold. Sorry. There's more. There's more. I'm just letting, I want to stop because I want Spirit to say what they have to say. And it's funny because everything I want to say to you guys is exactly what comes out. Stop wasting your time on this past situation. It's time for you to be in balance with your life. Okay? Headaches at the crown as well. I've had that all weekend. Yes. I think we touched base on this a little bit last week. By you accepting the bullshit of the past, it's almost like it's not pretty. It's not pretty. It's not appealing. It's not attractive of you to accept the bullshit, right? How beautiful are you if you accept somebody's bullshit, right? The ugly truth, the ugly acknowledgement, the ugly truth that you've waited for somebody that was never really worthy of you. Oh, no worries, honey. Whenever you're ready. Yeah, so it's like the ugly truth that you wasted your time thinking that this person was going to come back into you. You just needed to see. And it's funny because in this, the reflection, there's three people here. 2 looking forward, 1 looking back. As much as you want to move forward, you still have something holding you back. Stop wasting your time, Spirit is saying. Stop wasting your time. And it's not about wasting your... See, this is the thing. It's about wasting your time waiting for a masculine to come in when the truth is really within you, right? You have your own answer. Don't waste your time on that person or that situation. Be happy. Don't be angry with the person. It's like if you were angry with them, they're saying, why are you angry with them? You should be angry with you because you allowed yourself to wait. You didn't want, it was almost like you've built up a callus of moving on. You've calloused the surface so much so you couldn't move on. You've actually you built up a wall to stay in the situation. You were reluctant to see beyond it. You're reluctant to see beyond this past situation. It's time to release yourself from this completely, okay? It's time to release yourself from this, okay? Release your heart from this situation. Release your heart from this past situation. Explore your patterns. Do you keep going back to the same pattern? Do you still reluctantly repeat it? Repeat what you were doing? Maybe you don't even realize you're doing it. And I don't know, I said this last week, I feel like there's this familial bond, familial curse that needs to be broken. The familial do of what you're supposed to do that needs to be broken. Are you supposed to give this person 50 million reasons? Let me see this. Okay. So Spirit's saying you have disillusioned yourself and kept yourself blinded from the truth. You need to step into a new phase of your life. You need to step into a situation that may be a little bit uncomfortable for you, but it'll lead you to a new path, okay? It will lead you to the new path. I think this is something that you've been battling with. Like you haven't really been too honest with yourself. Like you know you need to do this, but like you're reluctant to. See? But in order to grow, you really need to go within and take that voyage forward. It's almost like the Titanic. I don't know why spirits give me the Titanic, right? Breaking through, yes, happy Mother's Day to all of you out there. Breaking through the ice. Moving forward. Steady and moving forward. Don't allow yourself to hinder off course so you can hit the iceberg and sink. All right? It's about slowly and progressively moving forward, busting through the ice. Okay, so you can grow. That's I don't know why Spirit is giving me that. Titanic must mean something for somebody out there. Okay, so yeah, it's like the Titanic. Do you want to sink? Or do you want to keep going? Right? Do you want to cross your first voyage? Do you really want to cross the voyage, or do you want to break down in the middle and just sink to the bottom? It's like you have to regain that strength. You need that slowly, progressively build the momentum up into the power that you actually have within you. So you can truly release and be your true beautiful self and truly love yourself. At the end of the day, this is all about self-love. No matter who we end up with at the end of the day. Even if you end up by yourself, if that's what you choose to do. It's about really standing in your power and really loving you. Oh, okay, great. I will respond to your email if I haven't seen it yet. It's been a busy weekend. It's about really just loving you. It's going in the self voyage of loving yourself. Standing firm on your own 2 feet. Saying, I don't care what you think about me. You know, I don't care that you don't message me anymore. I don't care that you never came forward. I'm trying to think of everything that was said in this reading. You never came forward. You never sent the message that I was expecting to hear, right? I don't care that you didn't do this. I'm okay on my own 2 feet. I don't need you anymore. I just need me. And we were talking about the family ties. Maybe the masculine is somebody in your family too. Could be a father figure. Could just be a very dominant personality in the family. Somebody that you look to support you. Maybe you have to say too, I don't care if you don't support me. Like it would be nice to have your support, but I don't need it. Right? If it's not the masculine, maybe it's somebody else, you know? But it's really, it's time to move on into your own self-worth. Really loving you, accepting you. Listen, it's hard. But how are we supposed to, how is anybody supposed to accept us if we can't even accept ourselves, right? Yeah, see? It's time to look in the mirror. It's time to see that truth. Okay. What else, Spirit? What else, Spirit? What else am I going to tell them before I have to close this out? And I don't know, because it fell under the sofa. Let me see. The past. What about the past? The past, the children, the bonds. Interesting. All right, so if this has something to do with your father figure or a familial figure, somebody who is tight-knit that you're expecting them to support you with, it's almost like saying, well, maybe that connection wasn't really meant to be. And that's hard, being that it could be a father figure or a mother figure or somebody that you really looked up to, that you expected to have your back at all times. Or this could be your masculine. But it's saying like, maybe that just wasn't, and maybe it really wasn't meant to be. Because you know what? Sometimes we have parents who are really karmics, right? They're soulmate connections who are karmic connections because they're meant to teach you something. Self-reliance, self-assistance, self-love. Maybe they never gave it to you, so it's time to really hone in on your own self. Because, you know, a lot of times, like you think about it, your mother, right? Your mother could be more dominant than your father, you know? You fall down, you scratch your knee, you expect mommy to help you and pick you up, but maybe they don't. Maybe they just don't. And maybe it's time to go, I got it, don't worry about it. I'm good, mom. Or dad, or whomever, right? Or, I mean, maybe if you had a bad childhood, it was like, it was meant to be. Maybe if you experienced bad trauma in your childhood, maybe this was meant to happen for you to learn that you need to clear your own space, that you need to be self-reliant, that you can't always wait for somebody else to help you to fix it. That nobody's really going to fix this if you can't fix it yourself. See? By doing so, you will be prosperous. You will grow. If you can be self-reliant and clear your own space and say, I got this, you are going to be prosperous. You're going to grow. And honestly, you might lose family, but you might actually have them have more respect for you by standing in your own power too, if this has to do with a family situation. And maybe they will never say it. They might not ever come and tell you, I respect that you did this. But they might think it. And it might make them look at you in a different way. You know what I mean? Interesting. Partnership. What about this partnership, please? Not abundant. But it's interesting because I'm reading this partnership, what it actually says. Accept yourself and your colorful personality, not partnership in somebody else. The first line, accept yourself and your colorful personality. Feel confident about being you. You are a joy bringer. Let your community nourish and protect you. Ask for help. Teamwork will give you the best results. But your community doesn't have to be the people we think they are. Sometimes it's just your spirit guides, right? Sometimes it's people on here. We all are backing each other up here on these threads, right? It's going back and forth. But maybe this partnership that you expected to evolve didn't grow. But accept yourself and your own colorful personality. You will attract like-minded people once you truly love who you are. And you'll have a new community, a new soul tribe, right? Because there are people in my family that I'm like this. Hi. That's it. That's all I allow. I don't accept them in my heart anymore because I know they're not good for me. And then I have my people that I love in my family. See, you're not taking your power back. This is in reverse. It's almost like by not doing so, you're not accepting the challenge. You're lacking the faith in adversity. You need to get stronger and realize that you have the strength to do everything that you need to do for yourself, guys. All right, the self-reliance thing. What else, Spirit? Again, community. The community isn't great. So, whatever the community means to you, I think you will know who it is. And we all have our own thing. It could be your work people, friend people, family people, masculine people, feminine people, whoever it is, spiritual people. There is 2 times partnership, not in abundance. Community, not so great, right? It's time to change. It's almost, and I don't know, maybe this could be your family. It could be friends from your childhood, people from your past. This wasn't meant to be. They were karmic. This was a lesson. Will you be strong enough to stand your power? You waited. This, for whoever this reading is for, you waited for masculine to come in and speak their piece. Maybe you've had lessons like, and maybe this is why it's saying the familial thing. Maybe you've had this lesson multiple times in your life. Okay? Are you ready to take on the challenge? Are you ready to take on the challenge of you? Of not giving two fucks about anybody else but just you. And of course your children if you have children. But putting you first. I know it sounds horrible, putting you before your kids. Because they're not going to put you first. Because all they're going to do is shit on you, because that's what kids do. And, you know, we're parents, so we have to accept their shit. Even though we could stand firm on them and tell them, stop the bullshit. Right? But what I'm saying is, if you don't put you first, who the fuck is going to put you first? If you don't put your needs first, who's going to do it? Nobody. Nobody. And maybe you've been through this lesson so many times in the past. Have you learned your lesson yet? Have you learned to say to all the people who don't need to be in your life and say thank you very much? If you're Italian, or those you know, this is what, go fuck yourself. Right? That's what this means, right? To all of them. And it's time really to focus on you. What is best for you now? What are the things that you need to do? And listen, you could have a great family. And I'm not saying to walk away. You know who these people are, right? You know, you're Italian. Yeah, you know who these people are in your life that you need to be like this. Is it the ex-partner? Is it, like I said, is it your old boss, your old workplace? Is it your friend circle? Is it your childhood friend circle that don't really have your back like you thought they did? All right, there's going to, you know who they are. But it's like, it's time to show them who you are. I'm coming out. I'm coming out. I want the world to know, right? It's like, it is time to show your true colors. Where's that card? It's here somewhere. The sacrifice card. But look what's behind the sacrifice. The rainbow. It's time to show people who the fuck you really are. And maybe, just maybe, it's time to show you who you truly are. Because maybe you don't even know who you really are. Because we have you multiple times sitting in the darkness, sitting in the shadows. No more. No more. Spirit said that to you in the beginning of the reading. It's time to put yourself out there. It's time to say what you need to say. Say what you need to say. Or say what you want to say. Say what you want to say and make the words come out. Honestly, I want to see you be free. Right? Good song. It's time for you to be you. It's time for you to really follow your own path. It's time for you to show your true colors because you've been sacrificing yourself for so long. Okay? I have for myself always to see happens to other people around me. Well, maybe you're not manifesting it so, Maud. Maybe it's really time to really go after what you want. Okay, and say, screw everybody else. These dreams are going to happen for me. I don't care what's happening in other people's lives. This is going to be my dream. This is going to be my reality. And I'm going to go after my reality. What I really, truly, firmly believe that I deserve. But if you truly believe that you deserve shit in your life, guess what you're going to get? Shit. And if you truly believe I deserve everything, you're going to get everything. But by you contemplating, I don't deserve this. I'm deserving to live in misery. I deserve to, Oh my God, what is it? I forget what it is. Which saint it was. If you feel like you deserve to be the martyr, then guess what you're going to be? The martyr forever. There's a saint, and I forget her name. I wish my mom was here because she would tell me. And she prayed to God, I think I might have said this here on once, that he would take her husband and her son, because they were very violent people and they were very proactive in war. So she prayed, God, please take my son and my husband before their soul is so condemned that they will never be able to enter into your kingdom of heaven. And what did God do? He took her son and the husband. So they can no longer sin anymore because they were such dark forces here on earth. And then she felt so badly. And she said, please, God, please pierce me. And then one day, a thorn came right here. Mary, I think it was Saint Mary, and pierced her head right here with a thorn from a rose. And she decided she would never remove this thorn. And from not removing this thorn, she developed gangrene, and she smelled, and there were worms festering around the thorn, okay? And the worms would fall, and she would pick the worms up, give it a kiss, and put it back. And people would shun from her, right? And people would shun from her. And then Spirit gave her the smell of the roses. You know this story? Is this all ringing a bell to anybody out there? So now, because she smelled so bad, everybody would get away from her because it was disgusting. She had worms on her head. She had gangrene on her forehead. She didn't care. She felt it was a blessing from God. And, Catholicism, of course, made her a saint. Okay? I don't think that if you want to live that life, then so be it. Say, God, I am deserving of shit in my life. And guess what? God's going to give you shit. And maybe one day, if being a saint is what you really want in your life, then maybe you will become a saint for living in shit and misery for the rest of your life. Maybe. Me personally, I don't need to be a saint because I know I'm not going to heaven because I've already paved that path. But I know I'm deserving of good because I've been good to so many people out there, right? So, and I know I want good in my life, and I know I give good and I expect good back. Not to say I've never done bad, because I have, but I've walked away from that, right? But what I'm saying to you is, if you manifest and say to yourself, by you saying to yourself, I don't deserve good in my life, what are you going to get? You're going to get not good. But if you say, you know what, I was a sinner, I did this, I no longer do these things, I expect to have the most amazing life, I expect to have the most amazing partner, I don't need my friend or family circle who did me wrong, I'm going to have the best friend circle or whatever it is that you want. By you believing that you deserve it, that's what you're going to get. Like attracts like. Okay? And it may not be in the package you expected it in. Like it may not be your masculine coming in and speaking their piece to you and saying, I'm sorry, so sorry, please accept my apologies. No, he may never do that to you. It may be somebody else. If you're expecting your family to come in and say they're sorry, it may not be them. It may be somebody else. But that's okay. So just remember, you are the master of your universe. You are creating your own universe. You're accepting your own shit. So if you want shit in your life, manifest shit. Manifest you're not deserving. If you want good in your life, manifest I'm deserving. God, I know I'm sorry. I know you got my back. I know you love me because you're supposed to be a God of forgiving. And I'm moving on. And I deserve the best because I'm giving the best to everybody else. And I'm putting good out there. I do not put evil on people. I want good to come back to me. Is this making sense, guys? You get what you give. And you get what you think. It goes hand in hand. And I think for a lot of people out there, that is the biggest portion that they don't understand. By you in your brain saying, And remember in the beginning of this reading, crystal clear, good. In the beginning of the reading, I'm going to start picking up the cards so I can remember what exactly. It was about putting this false illusion. You put on a mask that you were okay, but you were not. Right? You put this false illusion out to the world that everything was okay, but it wasn't. I'm trying to get to these cards, and I know they're right at the beginning somewhere. The mask of why. The mask of why. Okay? Why weren't you blessed? This false illusion. Maybe you didn't even realize, why wasn't I blessed? Maybe you didn't even realize that you've been manifesting shit in your life this whole time. And that God in the universe has been putting a test on you, and you keep repeating and failing this test. You failed the test. And you keep repeating the same thing over and over again. The test is meant to be passed. Will I accept shit from the people that are supposed to love me? That might be your test, guys. Will I accept shit from the masculine that I thought was supposed to come in? That might be your test. Right? Whatever it is, make life harder than it needs to be. People do make life harder than it needs to be. It can be so simple. It really can be. The problem is we create this bullshit in our life. You put on a false illusion that things were okay when they weren't. You didn't say the things that you needed to say when you needed to say it. So what did you do? You put on a false illusion. And you kept getting more shit. You have no one to blame but yourself. And Spirit put that in here. You need to see the truth of this. You need to look in the mirror. You created that reality. And the only person who can break that reality is you. Nobody else. So if you are one of those people who like to put the blame on other people, yes, we do create our circumstances. It's time to look in the mirror and say, self, I blame you. Right now I'm looking into the camera. Rose, you fucked up your life. Rose, you're the one who made that choice. Rose, you did this. I accept it. I no longer choose that path, and I'm ready for greatness. I know I'm a good person internally. If you are a good person internally, I know I always do right by people. I always try to. I always try to veer people on the right path. Maybe I'm a little bit more abrasive than other people are. But I'm abrasive with myself too. I am my own worst critic. I always have been. And I do always, like I say, I give you these readings. Clarity right there. It's truck downshifting. I give you these readings. I re-listen to the reading. Because I know there's a message in here for me too. And I know I've done a lot of introspection work, right? I've gone within. I dissect myself over and over and over and over again. I do people right. Exactly. If you do right by people, people are going to do right by you. But if you expect that you're going to do right by people and nobody's ever going to do right by you, if that's what you expect, just like I've said this in the past, if you say all men are assholes, guess what you are attracting back into your life? Another fucking asshole. Right? Or if you're a guy who's watching this, all women are money diggers, or all they want is this, and that's what you're going to get back again. Power of attraction. The universe. You're attracting what you're thinking. So it's time to stop putting the blame on everybody else. It really is time to look in the mirror. And I think you didn't expect that. Maybe you didn't even expect me saying this to you today. Because you were expecting somebody else to come in and give me an apology. It's time for you to self-reflect, look in that looking glass, and say, I did this to myself. I really can't put the blame on anybody. Yes, this person did this to me. Yes, this person did this to me and that person. But I allowed it. I allowed this to happen. maybe once you stop allowing it to happen, you'll truly be able to love yourself and you'll truly be able to respect yourself. All right, guys, I'm going to go. I don't have much time. I'm going to try to do a Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine reading before I have to get in the car and go and pick up my son from school. All right, guys. Love and light. Bye, guys.